So we have a question about reloading your model. Now, I touched on this briefly, but in more depth here, really the critical thing is that, one, you don't want to have to redo anything. Like once I've textured the model, I don't want to have to redo that. So there shouldn't be any issue with reloading the model. If you're finding that you're losing your textures, it could very well be that you're changing the texture name. So make sure that like the material name or the texture name in your modeling program is not changing. That's the only thing I could think of that would really mean that you have to reload or redo work. Let's jump out and let me show you how to reload. I'll show you a couple of different ways. All right, so the way that I prefer to reload is to activate the material tool, click on a texture, and then I get this wrench. Now I got to click on a material that I've already pathed in Lumion or swapped. And so now I get this wrench and I can click the wrench and click on reload model. Or if I'm using, like we use Dropbox in the office, so sometimes like we have different paths that get reloaded. So you might hit reload model from a new file, and that way you can repath it. All right. So that's the way you reload. That's a surefire way to do that. We'll say OK. Another way to reload, which is not my favorite, is to go to your objects. All right, and then you can go to let me go to move mode. We don't have that many objects in here. It's OK. I'm going to go to move mode, and then we've got our imports. So like, where's my import? Should be, let's see, we're not taking that out. There. OK, so this is my model, and when I select it, all right, so I've selected that import. And see, now we get this re-import model. So that way I can just click this, and that'll reload that model. If I hold down Alt, I get the option to like repath this. So I'll hold down Alt and hit that, and then I can repath the file. Now you can see that I like stutter as I'm showing you how to reload a model like that, because I think that the material, the paint bucket tool or whatever we call it, the material tool, you just click on something on your model and hit the wrench and reload, and you're done. Whereas with this method, I have to actually like go and find the node and hit reload, and to me it's just much more intuitive to use that material tool. So those are two ways to do it. I'm trying to think of other tips on if you're losing work. It's got to be really the only work you could lose would be your material. So just make sure those material names are not changing.